Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, no matter where you are in the world, and a very warm welcome back to my channel. To my subscribers, big hug, and to all the people who are new and listening, thank you for listening in. This is basically a carry on from where I left off with the second encounter with my twin flame. I mean, there's so much to tell, I don't even know. Sometimes I don't even know where to start, so I'm trying to start, or go in a chronological order. There was a massive, yeah, all the events are massive on this twin flame journey, but in the encounter with my twin flame, I was saying in the last recording that I did that when we embraced, I didn't feel him physically, I only felt the energy. It was a really bizarre event. But there was something else that I forgot to mention, and that was that there were moments within our encounter, like the moment when I ended up, when I was looking at him, and as far as I was concerned, I could see the whole universe, and when I embraced him, I couldn't feel him. But I forgot to mention that within that embrace, and this is probably the most important aspect, was time stood completely still. There were no sounds. I mean, it's impossible because we were in the middle of a field. You would normally hear the birds like you can hear them now on this recording. And there was a slight breeze, but everything stopped. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel the breeze. I didn't hear the birds. I didn't hear anything. All I felt was this intense sense of peace, love, stillness. It was almost as if there was completely nothing, but a nothing within which every single thing was contained. It was like being in emptiness that was full, if that makes sense, and if you can even imagine that. The only other time that I ever experienced anything similar was in fact when I had a near-death experience. It's a long story, but I fell 200 meters off a mountain and died. Well, obviously didn't die because I'm here, but what I mean is but I did die because I at one point, all I now, in retrospect, remember is this beautiful feeling of not floating, but it was kind of just floating in this being, in this silence, in this peace, in this warmth, in this... I would like to say, most people say when they have a near-death experience, they feel like they're going towards the light. Well, I didn't. I felt as if I was the light. I felt that there was light all around me. I felt the warmth all around me. I felt the love. It's so beautiful and warm and peaceful and tranquil, and it was absolutely incredible experience. I always say that my near-death experience was probably one of the most beautiful experiences of my life, and it was identical to what I felt in that embrace with my twin flame. The only difference being that after my near-death experience on the mountain that I fell off, my psychic abilities really spiked after I recovered from the incident. I might tell you about it one day. But that's not the point of this recording right now. And after the embrace with my twin flame, and that same beautiful, intense, incredible, amazing feeling, my psychic abilities have spiked again. My intuition has gone through the roof. And one of the lessons, I know I keep talking about the lessons on this journey, but this journey is to learn lessons. the lessons we learn are the lessons that take us to unconditional love. And I think another one of the lessons that I've personally had to learn, and I think that it's important for all twin flames maybe to learn, is to trust our intuition. Because we are generally people who are in the healing business, and it doesn't matter whether we're in the healing business for the mind, the body, or the soul for other people. We're still, I believe, here to do good for other people. So I believe that we're all healers. And I think for us healers, it's extremely important to listen to our intuition, because that is what guides us to be able to do our job properly, or in a better way, let's say. And all my life, my question has been, well, where does intuition end and imagination start? Because, I am a very creative person, and if most twin flames are like me, they are too. And if you're very creative, you probably know that we have huge imaginations. Yeah, that's where we get our creativity from. So it's kind of like, well, you have to decide, where does intuition end and imagination begin? And I think that is very personal to each individual. And not only that, I think we have to kind of as well, in my personal case, I had to kind of say, well, where does intuition and imagination end, and where does wishful thinking begin? Because that's another thing. On the twin flame journey, we're always wishful thinking. We're wishing that our twin flame would get in touch, or, we're wishing that our twin flame would come back. We're wishing for this, we're wishing for that. And so, yeah, I had to really sit down and kind of say, okay, well, where does intuition end? Where does imagination start? And where does wishful thinking, even come into all of it, if you like? And that is another big lesson. And for me personally, I think that intuition is that which we don't have to think about, It's imagination is, for me, kind of when we start making up movies in our head. We kind of, and I think it's filled with wishful thinking anyway, because we kind of play out these scenarios, oh, if my twin flame comes back, and then you picture everything that's going to happen, and then you add in the wishful thinking, and there you have a movie before you even know it, yeah? But intuition is what we don't have to consciously think about it. It'll be something that'll just come into our mind when we're least thinking about anything. And our gut will say whether it thinks it's right or if it's wrong. There's that little inner voice, if you listen to it, that will tell you that it is intuition, or that it's right or wrong, etc., etc. So yeah, that's another very, very important lesson that I might expand on in the future. If anybody has any questions, please do ask, because, like I said, I've been on this journey now, from November 2017 to May 2019. So, yeah. And trust me, I've shed more tears than you can ever possibly imagine. And I've had more inner battles than I think most people should ever have to go through. But at the end of the day, it's worth it. Because there is a point, trust me on this, you get to one point, there is a point where all of a sudden it just goes, there's like a sigh of relief, and there's peace. And when you reach that point of peace, it's when you know that you've reached union, the union within yourself. The acceptance, the love, the unconditional love is for yourself first. And that's when you have true union. And once you have union within you, those of you who are fortunate enough will probably unite with your twin flame. At least I'm praying and hoping that you do. Because I can only imagine that it must be one of the most beautiful, rewarding, fulfilling, loving relationships that you will ever have in your entire lifetime. And your twin flame, for me, the way I feel it, is the most important person you will ever have in your life. Our parents are very important people because they bring us into this world, but I actually do believe that the connection with our twin flame is even more powerful than the connection we have with our parents. And it's so strong. The bond is just so strong. The spiritual bond, that it just can't be broken. It can't be broken because, like I said, your twin is always a part of you spiritually. Well, I think I've rambled enough for today, so thank you so much for listening in, and have a fab day. And just remember, you are an amazing, amazing, amazing and incredible human being, yeah? And you are going to do so much good in the world. You probably already have done so much good in the world, and you're continuing to do so. And so, yeah, you have all my love and all my respect. Take care. Till next time.